Greetings everyone, Nick DiVirgilio here, and this is the Alesis Strata Prime electronic drum kit. Alesis has raised the bar on electronic drums and designed this new kit from the ground up. It's a 10-piece kit with great feeling mesh pads, a full-sized kick drum, a brand new magnetic hi-hat system, 360-degree triple-zoned cymbals, a 10.1-inch touchscreen, tons of amazing sounds from BFD, and a lot more. On top of that, it's super fun to play, the sounds are really great, and it's easy to navigate. Before I get into the details of this great new electronic drum kit, I ask that you like this video and subscribe to our channel if you're not already a subscriber. The sizes of the drum kit go like this: 8, 10, 12, and 14-inch tom pads, all dual zone with mesh heads, a 14-inch dual zone mesh snare drum. One of the coolest parts about this kit is the 20-inch kick drum mesh head, and it feels really good with your kick drum pedal. It feels good to play. The cymbals are all great modern sizes as well. 2 16-inch crash cymbals, an 18-inch ride cymbal, and the 14-inch magnetic hi-hats. Another really great feature about the cymbals here is that they're 360 degrees, meaning you can hit the cymbals anywhere on the cymbal and they're going to trigger. Everything is mounted on this 4-post steel rack. It's really easy to put together. One cool feature about the rack is when you put the rods into the holders, they're notched on the inside and it won't spin around once you get it in there. It locks into place and then you just tighten it down, so it's really easy to put together. Let me quickly mention how cool this drum kit looks. You have a really great looking red and black striped wrap. You see it really clearly on the kick drum because the kick drum's so big. But that wrap is also on all of the toms and the snare drum. You have gold tension rods on all the pads and the kick drum, and the kick drum lugs are really cool looking as well. Put it all together on this great 4-post rack that's really sturdy, and this is gonna look great on any stage. The hardware you're gonna need to supply for this kit is your own kick drum pedal and your own hi-hat stand. The kit does come with its own snare drum stand. An awesome feature about the sound module is the 10.1-inch touch display. It's beautifully full-colored, lots of really cool three-dimensional looks of the kits once you get into the deep menus. It's easy to use. You just touch and go around, back and forth. You can touch the drums, you can touch everything with your fingers, and you can do things with the knobs if you want to as well. So you can kind of go back and forth. You don't have to just use the touch display if you don't want to. BFD is a great company making awesome drum samples. There's a BFD sound engine inside this module running on a multi-core processor. You get 75 factory installed kits and virtually unlimited space for your own user kits. There's 440 kit pieces, but inside those kit pieces are 1,092 articulations. You can do anything with the sounds that you get inside the module. Thousands of samples with multiple microphone channels as well. There's over 40 gigabytes of included content on 128 gigabyte of internal storage. There's a revolutionary new customizable trigger engine with automatic crosstalk filtering. That is an incredible thing. I'll show you that here in a little bit, with presets for all modern Alesis electronic triggers. So now let's get into some details of this great kit with this sound module here. When you first open up the module, it's going to ask you to join Wi-Fi, your local Wi-Fi in your house or wherever you're at. It's really simple to do. Just kind of go through the prompts. It happens in a couple of seconds. And then this is going to be the main page you get to. You can scroll down the list of the drum kits with the knob, like this. You can use your finger, just like you would on any other sort of touchscreen, and then you double press with your finger to go to the next kit, whichever one you choose. At the bottom of the screen, you do have 6 knobs that do various things. In the main page, you have kit volume, track volume, click volume, ambience volume, reverb volume, and snare rim volume. So you can change the ambience and the reverb, how much click you have, all those things really simply with the knobs right in front of you. Over on the top left of the box is the main volume, your aux in volume, and your phone's volume. Pretty simple there. You get stop, play, and record buttons, along with your metronome and tempo buttons. You could put tracks inside the machine to play along to, or you can record yourself and listen back to what you just did with those buttons right there. If you're in one of the deeper menus to get back to the main kit page, just hit the kit button. On the back of the box, you get inputs for all of the pads, plus a few extra inputs in case you want to expand your kit. There's balanced left and right outputs, plus 4 extra direct outputs that you can assign anything to. You also have a stereo aux in. Then you have 2 USB ports for USB stick or sending to your computer, anything like that, and then 5-pin MIDI in and out. And last but not least are the headphone outputs, which are right here on the front of the machine, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch. The first thing I want to show you is how to set up your hi-hat. When you first turn on the machine, the hi-hat totally works, but you want to set it up to your style, your foot, how you play, and all that kind of stuff, and it's really easy to do. On the left side of the LCD screen, just hit Trigger Edit, and then on the top right, you're going to want to go to Hi-Hat Setup. It tells you exactly what to do, so there's no learning here. You don't have to read the manual or anything. First thing you want to do is loosen your clutch, so the top pad sits on the module underneath. It's already read it. Then you hit Set. Then all you have to do after that is put the hi-hat back to its normal position, the top pad, however you like it, and the hi-hat's already set up for your foot. Hit Finish, and you're done. One thing you can do, though, they made it very simple. At the bottom of the LCD screen here, it says Pedal Bottom. What that does is you can adjust how the pedal adjusts to how you close the hi-hat. You don't have to press so hard, or you can press harder. You can adjust it however you want. So just turn it down or up, tweak to your desire, and get it to exactly where you want it to be. Then if you want to really get deep into the weeds of adjusting your hi-hat, you can get into all kinds of things right here. Chick gain. You know what the chick sound is? That's when the two hi-hat cymbals close together, your chick sound. If you want it louder, turn it up. They really thought of all the little nuances inside the Prime drum module. Now, one of the great new features in the Prime drum module is automatic crosstalk detection. Crosstalk is when you hit one pad and then you hear something else. Now, I set up this kit, and the bottom floor tom is triggering the ride cymbal a little bit. And that might just be because of the way I set the cymbals up. Sometimes people have two crashes and then the ride. I like to have my ride here in the middle of the two crashes. So here's the sound first. Hear a little bit of that ride cymbal in there? Well, what you can do in here is go to Trigger Edit. Then on the top right, it says Learn Crosstalk. Hit that button. Follow the directions on the screen, and it should eliminate the crosstalk that you're hearing. So it says right here, hit each zone of Tom 4 trigger multiple times at full velocity. Here we go. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't hear the cymbal anymore. Does anybody else hear the cymbal? I don't think anybody else. Yeah, I think it's gone. That is so cool because in the old days, back in my day, if you wanted to work on crosstalk in an electronic setup, well, you had to work really hard to figure that out and go into all the different zones and the nuances of it all. This does it for you, and it's just so cool. So if you are hearing crosstalk on another drum, go through that exact same procedure, hit save, and those drums will now be calibrated. All right, next thing I want to show you is how easy it is to edit a drum kit and change the sounds. So go here to Kit Edit, the top button. Now you could use your finger to press any one of the drums. That'll light up red. Do it that way. You can hit the drum and it'll follow you. Doesn't change it red, but you could see the drum being triggered on the screen. It lights up blue. One thing you can do is when you want to audition a sound, you can use your finger, and where you touch the name of the sound with your finger will adjust its volume. So I'm hitting it more on the right side of the name and it's louder. Hitting it on the left side of the name is softer. And that's just cool so you can really hear the nuance of that particular sample without having to put it on the drum. So in order to put that sound on any drum you want, in this case the snare drum, I'm going to pick French 14 snare low. I've auditioned the sound. I hit the check mark. Now it's on the snare drum. What you're going to find if you're editing a drum kit that's a preset is there might be stacks of other samples within that sound. So what you can do is go to the stack symbol right here on the right side of the screen. Then you can see the sounds that are in a particular stack. So in here, you can adjust the level of each sound in the stack. You could change each sound. You can make a total new stack, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to mute the other two. And we should just hear the sound that I just put on the snare drum. See, just that low sound. I'll turn the second one on, turn off the first sound. Then you can adjust the level of each one. All that to say, you could take any of the samples that are inside the machine or any of your own samples, because you can put your own samples in as well, and make completely customized sounds and stacks on every drum in the kit. That might take you a while to do, but you can customize the drums however you want to. I will say this, as fun as it is to customize the sounds of the drums and tweak your kits, I'm finding you don't have to do much of that at all. There's so many great presets already in the machine, you'll spend hours, days just playing through the sounds that come inside the box. Another quick thing to show you about navigating to the different sounds, they put things called classes inside the machine here, and that's just kicks, snares, toms, cymbals, that kind of thing. So you just hit the class button, and you'll see right there it says kicks, snares, how many articulations of each, hi-hats, toms, and so on. There's also the library button, and they have basically packs of sounds where you can go through and find the different acoustic sounds, electronic sounds, percussion, and so on. You can make favorites of whatever you want. If you find a sound you really like, just hit the star button. That is in your favorites page now, so you can make it easier to find next time you go look for it. And finally, there's an import button when you want to import your own sounds. Now, the knobs on the bottom of the machine make it easy to do your quick tweaking. Say you tuning. This might be a little bit too low, so just turn the knob. Things like that. The attack. Ooh, that was loud. Quickly. Less attack. That kind of thing. Dampening. This is a fun one. To dry up the sound if there's a little too much sustain for your taste. Panning and dynamics. So they make it really easy to tweak the sounds immediately with the knobs on the top. Next thing to show you, they really went the extra mile in the Prime drum module here. You can adjust the microphones that are within a particular sound. When you're in the recording studio on an acoustic kit, you have the microphones there and you play. Well, those microphones stay where they are. Well, in this environment, you could turn down the overheads, turn up and down how much ambience you want within a particular drum, not just the kit. So you can kind of really go crazy within sound design here. Hit the mics, that's right underneath the kit, and then adjust those sounds. So right now the overhead volume is right at 0. Let's turn it up and see what it sounds like. Gets a little bit louder. On the snare drum sound here, I can adjust the snare top and snare bottom. Let's turn the snare bottom up a little bit. Turn all the way off. That's the snare wires on a typical acoustic drum. You're turning up and down. How about the room sound? Definitely hear more ambience now. Room is all the way down, no ambience at all. So again, really easy to tweak the sounds right on the machine without having to use the touch screen at all. One last cool thing to show you when you want to find a certain thing. They gave you a number of ways to do that, but you can hit the search button up here. A QWERTY keyboard comes up and you can type anything you want. Crash. All the crash sounds show up. Get out of that. I could search, I don't know, Zildjian. Zildjian cymbal samples come up. So if you want to search for a specific thing, you could do it that way if you like. There's a pretty elaborate mixer inside the Prime drum module, but it's really simple to use. Just hit the mixer button. Every drum in your kit shows up there, and you can just adjust the volumes of the ambience, the cymbals, and all of that right there. Just follow the buttons with your finger. Drum mics. That kind of thing. Cymbal mics, how those are showing up. Ambience and effects. Again, adjust the sound to your desire. But it's so simple to do. Just hit a button, it all shows up. You don't have to go searching for it, and adjust the volumes however you like. Last couple pages to show you. Here are backing track. There's no tracks loaded, but that's where you would find those. Your trigger edit button, which I showed you earlier, that's where you do your hi-hat setup, you learn your crosstalk and everything like that. And the settings button where you adjust your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, MIDI, and your general settings. Now, above and beyond how easy the machine is to use, the best part about it is how it feels and how it plays and how fun that is. So you've seen how easy it is to tweak the machine. Let's get back to playing this great kit and have some fun with some of these sounds. Let me take you through a few more before we end this video. Here we go. One quick thing to mention here before I go into a couple more sounds. The pads are really sensitive, so you can play this like normal drums. feels really good. That helps a lot when you're practicing, getting your nuance and your technique down even more. This next kit is really one of my favorites that I've found in the presets, called rototoms. Remember what those are? The drums that you can tune while you play them. You spin them and they go up and down in pitch. Well, this kit sounds really cool. Check it out. And there you go, everybody. A quick look at the brand new Alesis Strata Prime electronic drum kit. Tons of great sounds, an easy-to-use sound module, great feeling pads, all put together really well. So much fun to play and super inspiring. If you want any more information about this Alesis product, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or go to sweetwater.com. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, everybody. I'm Nick DiVirgilio. I'll see you again next time. Cheers.